Hello, Vikings. This is Lord Cornwall from Lord Cornwall Gaming, and I'm going to be doing a video today for the game Valheim on how to improve your graphics performance, and this is going to be specifically for AMD users. If you're watching this video and playing the game, clearly you know that the game is very popular, but you also know it's an early release in the alpha stage. And so at this point, it's pretty clear that the game was not quite ready for a release across a diversity of graphics platforms. And so a lot of people are complaining about getting terrible performance even though they have really good machines. And I've noticed that a lot of people that were complaining were AMD users like me. So I searched and searched online to try to find the right settings, the right adjustments to get the game to work correctly on my AMD system. I couldn't find anything. Everything that was posted online was a basic change that didn't do anything. And so just before I was ready to slam my head into my monitor, I finally found some things that worked and were able to get it for me to be able to play the game like a normal person. So I wanted to do a tutorial video today on what adjustments I made, the add-ons that I downloaded and installed, and what I did exactly to make the game run really well on an AMD system, even on a mid-range system like I have. Before we start, I would really appreciate it if you give me a like and subscribe to my channel, and please do share this video if the adjustments helped you. And if you found any other adjustments or ideas and settings that you've changed for your game to make it run better, please do let me know and leave it a comment below. Alright, so the first thing you're going to need to do for Valheim is very basic. You're going to click on Settings, you're going to click on Graphics, and you're going to turn everything off. Make sure everything is off. Some of these settings don't even work for AMD users. So yeah. Set your resolution to what you'd like. I'm going to use either a mid-range or a low-range solution to get the best possible frame rate. And don't worry about adjusting the sliders right now. So go ahead and turn everything off, set your resolution, hit OK, and go ahead and exit the game, and we'll get on to the other steps. Okay, next you're going to go into your AMD settings. So you go down here into our Radeon software and open the Radeon software. This is the home page. As you can see, I've been playing Valheim, 40 frames per second, not too bad. So I'm trying to do our best to improve that as much as possible. And you're going to go down here to adjust game graphics. All right. So the first thing you're going to do is all the post-processing effects you're going to turn off. Anti-lag, chill, and image sharpening. Turn all those off. What you are going to leave on is enhanced sync. Turn that to enabled. This is the special VSync mode for AMD, but that doesn't limit the frame rates. Okay, and it works with pretty much everything. So this is really going to improve your performance. Go ahead and click on Advanced so you can see the advanced options. For anti-aliasing, we're going to use the application settings because we're going to adjust the anti-aliasing level in the game itself. So you can leave the anti-aliasing method as multi-sampling and disable the morphological anti-aliasing because we're not going to be using anti-aliasing much at all. Turn off the anisotropic filtering. That is a huge graphics savings. And then for texture filtering quality, you're going to set that to performance or standard. I'm setting it to performance to get the best frame rate I can. And for the surface format optimization, enable that. That improves the texture processing of the game. And for tessellation mode, put it on AMD optimized. Don't use the tessellation structure in the game. It's messed up. It's not good for AMD systems. And then for the OpenGL triple buffering, turn that off, disable that. And then those are the graphic settings you need to, the main ones that you need to adjust. You can also go in your displays and see if you want to adjust this at all. But once you have these settings good to go, then you can go ahead and close the Radeon software, and we'll move on to the final steps of the adjustments for Valheim. Okay, the next thing we have to do is download some mods. So what you're going to do is go to nexusmods.com. Nexusmods.com. This is a modification website, and they have a small little tool called Vortex. So you're going to need to create a Nexus Mods account so that it can keep track of the add-ons and downloads that you use. And then you need to install Vortex, which is their add-on manager. They have guides on how to download and install Vortex. It's not hard at all. You just download and install it. It's very easy. If you have any trouble, just look at the Vortex help section of Nexus Mods and you'll find everything you need to there. So I'm not going to go over on how to install Vortex. There's plenty of information out there on how to do that, and it's really easy anyway. So what you're going to do after you've got Vortex installed and you've got logged into your account, you're going to go down here to view all games, and then we're going to search Valheim, and there it is. Click on Valheim. Okay. Now we're on the Valheim page of Nexus Mods. You see right here it says Valheim. So when we search mods in the search bar, we're only searching Valheim mods. Okay. Now there are 3 mods that you're going to need to download in order to customize your graphics settings and get you into a performance mode. So the first one is called, you're going to search graphics. Now you'll see that there are 2 graphics configuration add-ons. One is called Graphics Config Plus, and one is called Custom Graphics Settings. I'm going to be doing my video on custom graphics settings. It's easier to use, more intuitive. Graphics Config Plus has a lot more options, and some of those options are experimental. So if you want to go for more advanced settings, you can do Graphics Config Plus, but I'm going to be doing Custom Graphics Settings add-on. It's easier to use for people who aren't as used to fixing things on the computer. So I'm going to open that in a new tab. Next, I'm going to search DLL. You'll see Valheim Unstripped DLLs. This add-on actually allows you to modify the games for other add-ons to work, so you have to download this one. So open that in a new tab. And the last thing we're going to search for is config. And you see here a mod called Configuration Manager. So you're going to need to click on that, open a new tab. Alright, so for each of these add-ons, you'll go to the page. It describes what it does down here at the bottom and for additional settings information. All you need to do is click on the Vortex download button right here. It'll come with a pop-up to tell you how big the file is. This little graphics settings add-on is just 6 kilobytes, and it's going to dramatically improve your performance. So you'll click download unless you're a premium member, and Vortex will take care of the download for you. It'll download the add-on, and it'll put it in your list of add-ons in the Vortex app, which I'll show you in just a minute. So you're going to download Custom Graphics Settings, Valheim Unstripped DLLs, and Configuration Manager. Configuration Manager is needed to manage the add-ons within the game. So those 3 add-ons are what you're going to need to alter your graphics settings for better performance. Once you download those add-ons, you're going to go over here to Vortex. Now the first thing you're going to need to do is go down to Extensions. Oh no, excuse me. Games. So you'll see here I have Valheim under a managed game. When you first load Vortex, Valheim will not be there. You'll have to scroll down to the bottom and find Valheim in the list of games, and you'll have to install the extension in order to play Valheim. So normally Valheim would be all the way down here in the list. And once you click on Valheim and install the plugin, It'll be right here under your managed games. And then it will allow you to download the mods and activate them. The mod list where you download is right here. It's pretty simple. Some of them are uninstalled, meaning you have them downloaded, but they aren't installed on your game at all. Other ones are disabled. They are installed in the game, but they're not currently active. And then enabled add-ons are installed and turned on. When you download an add-on, first it'll tell you it's uninstalled or never installed. And so you'll have to click the button once. And as it installs, it'll go through to disabled. And then you'll have to click it one more time in order to enable the add-on. And every time you upload and reload add-ons, it'll give you this little loading bar here on the right. And that's what tells you how fast and how it's downloading things. A lot of these files are so small, there's such a big benefit, it's really awesome. Once you've got all that set up, the add-ons the way you want, go ahead and minimize Vortex. The first time when you start opening Valheim using Vortex add-ons, there's going to be a screen that pops up as the game loads, which is looks like a black MS-DOS screen with a lot of script on it. Just minimize it. It's not a big deal. It's perfectly normal. And then just go and play the game. So just be aware of that. The first time you start running Vortex add-ons, you'll get a random page that loads up with your game, and that's perfectly normal. Alright, that concludes what you need to do for the Valheim add-ons, and now we'll get back into the game and make our final edits. Okay, so now we're going to get into the final steps, and we're going to adjust the graphics settings within the Valheim game itself. So, once you set everything up on your AMD software, and once you have the Nexus mods installed, instead of going to the settings and the graphics page, you're going to instead hit the key F1. And the F1 key will pull up the configuration manager, which is one of the add-ons that you installed from Vortex. This configuration manager gives you the UI so you can manage your other add-ons. And your other add-on that you should have that you've installed is custom graphics settings. So you're going to go ahead and click on that. Pull this up a little bit here. And you'll see if you scroll down, you see a lot of different terms, different graphics options, and integers that go alongside it to tell them how much to process, essentially. Now, I'm not a graphics expert. I only know just a little bit to be dangerous. If you need more information about what these settings do within the Unity engine, there's extra information if you go to the custom graphics settings page on the Nexus Mods website. It's got additional information there on what these settings do if you're technically inclined like that. I'm going to be showing you really basic settings and just mainly just turning a lot of stuff off so that the game runs as well as possible. So the first thing you're going to do is take anisotropic filtering and anti-aliasing and set them to 0. That turns them completely off. You could set the anti-aliasing to 1 if you wanted to kind of have minimum anti-aliasing, but I set it to 0 just to reduce as much processing as possible. Scroll down a little bit to master texture limit and change that from a 0 to a 1. Now you're probably wondering, well, if I'm increasing the number, wouldn't that make the textures bigger? But the integer here actually reduces the texture size by fractions. And so putting a 1 here actually reduces the size of the textures by half. So that'll help you also. For max queued frames, you're going to change this to a 1. That'll lower the demand on your graphics processor. Now, a lot of the drain on your graphics is these budgets for the light displays. So what you're going to do is take this raycast budget and set it to 75, 100, maybe 200 if you want more. It's set originally to like 8,000, which is just absolutely crazy. So turn that down really far, and then turn the pixel light count down to 1. That'll dramatically reduce the amount of processing your computer is throwing at to get the lights displayed. And also turn off real-time reflection probes. That also will add to a lot of the demand for those lights. Now for shadows, I have it set to 0, which is turning all the shadows off. Your other options is a 1, which is what's called hard shadows, which allows some shadows to show and not others. And then the number 2, which is full shadows. So I have it set to 0 to turn everything off. If you want to set shadows to 1 or 2 and play around with these other shadow settings, that's great. You can go ahead and do that, but I'm just turning it off just to make things easier. And the last thing you're going to do is take soft particles and soft vegetation and turn those off. These processing effects eat up a lot of graphics also. Okay, so once you've done all that, go ahead and scroll back up, close this, and then before you play, you need to quit the game and restart. That way the game loads up fresh with all of those graphic settings, and it'll load everything correctly. Because sometimes if you change a graphic setting in the configuration manager and you don't exit the game, it won't actually make the adjustment. So make sure you quit the game and then come back in. So I'll go ahead and log in. We'll see what kind of performance we're getting. As I load in here, I just want to say again, I would really appreciate it if you gave me a like and a subscribe to my channel. And definitely share this video with other AMD users if it helped you. And if you've got other ideas or other settings or add-ons that you've used to make the game run better, please do leave a comment in the down below, and we'll work together to make sure this game actually works like a normal game. So now we're loading in. We've got a decent view here. Doesn't look too bad. With the resolution turned down a little bit, it looks a little Minecrafty. We're running at 30 frames per second, 28 to 30, which isn't too bad. It's playable. So I only have a mid-range machine. Mine's not super awesome. So I'm sure most of people that have AMD machines will get even better performance out of these setting adjustments than I would. So if you have an even better system, you'll probably see even more a bit of performance improvement. I would take you to the inside of our island fortress over there, but unfortunately we're going to be doing additional videos to show it all off. So definitely keep an eye on our channel as we release Valheim videos as well as videos from other games that we play. So thank you again so much for your time, for watching this video. Take care, stay safe. Bye-bye.